Okay, before this we went through level loan payment and varying loan payment. Okay, sinking fund method of loan repayment is another method of paying off your loan. Okay, so this is how it works. For an initial loan of L, payment schedule for sinking fund method is as follows. Okay, so within the loan period, you will only pay interest, and then you will accumulate the fund of the remaining of your payment in the sinking fund at the rate of G. Okay, so and then your principal payoff will come from the sinking fund. Okay, so at time end, you take the amount that is in your sinking fund to pay off your whole principal amount. Okay, interest for the loan and the return in the sinking fund can differ. So I not necessarily is equals to J. Okay, one example of a loan amortized via a sinking fund is where a company issue a bond. You haven't covered bonds before, but how bonds work is when they issue a bond, they borrow a certain amount, let's say $10 million, but they will only pay coupons throughout the maturity period. They will just pay coupons. Let's say it's 5% coupon, so it's like 50k, something like that. I hope I calculate it right. So at the end, you will pay 50k plus the principal amount. So when a company issue bond, they will pay when the maturity period is achieved, maybe like 20 years, let's say. They will have to fork out like a lot of money to pay off their liability. So in order to manage their cash flow, they can pay off using a sinking fund method. So they will just pay off interest, which is the coupons, and the remaining of their repayment they will accumulate in a sinking fund to make sure that when the maturity period comes, they have money to pay off their liability. Okay, this is how we find the outstanding balance for a sinking fund method. So it is basically the loan amount minus whatever is already accumulated in the sinking fund up to time t. So for example, if you want to find the balance at time 5, let's say after 5 years, you take the loan amount, which is in our example just now is 10 million, right? 10 million, but you minus with all of the amount that is already accumulated in the sinking fund. So let's say at that point in time, at time 5, your sinking fund have 2 million. So your outstanding balance at time 5 is 8 million. Okay, so this is a formula that is applicable for calculate the BT if, only if the regular payment, the payments that is made is constant, is level. Payment is level. So this is the relationship for sinking fund method. This one is just a familiar relationship that we saw before, which is RT equals to IT plus PT. So PT is the principal repaid at time T. IT is the interest paid from regular payment, and RT is the loan payment, the regular payment, RT. We can also look at this and in terms of the regular loan amount will be equals to the interest due plus the regular deposit to the sinking fund. So your loan amount will be paying off the interest due, and the remaining will be put as a deposit to the sinking fund. Okay, this one is a bit different. This one is not interest due. This is an interest paid from the regular payment. Why is these two amount different? This two amount different is because the interest due, part of the interest due is actually paid by interest earned in the sinking fund. So part of this is paid partly by the interest earned from the sinking fund, and only part of this is paid from the regular payment R. So that's why and that's why the equation is this alone is not enough. You need to put this component in. So the interest paid from regular payment is equals to the interest due minus the interest earned from the sinking fund. Okay, and then the principal repaid, not all of the, okay, the principal repaid is not just the regular deposit to the sinking fund, it's more than that. So these two is not equivalent. The principal repaid is not just depending on the regular deposit to the sinking fund, but it also depends on the interest earned from the sinking fund. So yes, so this is the relationship. You can look at it closely, and then you will understand when you want to do the sinking fund loan amortization later. So you will mainly use this relationship to find the IT, BT, and PT. Alright, so this is the amortization schedule for a sinking fund loan repayment. So let's say first your loan is $5,000, and then you will split your loan, okay, this is an example of a sinking fund loan repayment schedule, and in this specific case our RT is constant or level. So because of that, your deposit to the sinking fund is level every year. So level interest due is L times I, which is 5,000 times I in this case is 7%. So your L interest due is fixed, your total level payment due is 748. So every year for 10 years you will be paying 748 ringgit. So that 748 ringgit, this is the loan amortization schedule. So you will need to count the PT, the principal repaid, and the IT. So the principal repaid is deposit to the sinking fund plus interest earned from the sinking fund. So if you see here, the PT keep increasing because it is the level deposit to the sinking fund, which is 398. Here for the first year you just have 398. You don't have any deposit at time 0. You don't have any money in the sinking fund, so there is no interest earned from the sinking fund, so the interest earned is 0. So your PT is simply 398. But the second one, you have 398 plus a certain amount. This one you have 398 plus a certain amount, and this interest earned from the sinking fund will keep on increasing because your sinking fund, this is the amount in your sinking fund. So this is 398, and this one would be 398 times 1.05 1 plus J plus 398. This one is this one is 398 S2 5% plus 398. Okay, so this amount this amount that is in your sinking fund will accumulate interest. So this is the interest that you get. This is interest that you get from here. This is the interest that you get from here. This is the interest that you get from here, so on and so forth. Okay. So the IT also will reduce. What is IT again? IT is not the interest due, because the interest due is flat, 350. It is the interest that comes from the regular payment. So the interest that comes from this 748. So the interest that comes from this 748 will reduce because the IT is the interest that comes from the 748, right? Why does it reduce? Okay, this IT is reducing. What does it mean? IT again is the interest paid from the regular payment, RT. So it is the interest paid from this 748. But the interest due is fixed, LI. So LI or 350 comes from two components. Partly it comes from this 748. It comes from this 748. Part of this 748 will go to interest payment, and partly it comes from the interest earned from the sinking fund. Okay, so the part of the interest that come from this 748 is the IT. So the IT will decrease, will reduce and reduce, because more and more this amount will be more and more. So this amount will keep on increasing. So the IT necessary to make 350 will be less and less, will be reducing. Okay, so we can meet this 350 more and more from this component. So this component's importance will be less and less. So that's why it's reducing. Okay, you can have a look at this schedule again to improve your understanding. Okay, so this is an example. A loan of 100,000 is to be repaid by 10 annual repayments beginning of 1 year after the loan is made. The lender wants annual payment of an interest rate of 10%. I is 10%, and the repayment of the principal in a single lump sum at the end of the 10 years. The borrower accumulate in a sinking fund, earning 8%. So J is 8%. Decides to do this by means of 10 level deposits starting 1 year after the loan is made. So the deposits to the sinking fund is level as well. Okay, so what is the question? Find the borrower's total annual payment. Okay, total annual payment is RT. So the RT is constant or level. It's level because the deposit to the sinking fund is level, and also the interest due, which is LI, is also level. Okay, so for normal loan, to pay off this 100,000, you will just do payment times A angle 10%. So your payment will be 16,273. But for sinking fund, your payment is regular deposit to the sinking fund plus return for investment due. So this one is simply LI, and this one is the regular deposit to the sinking fund. Okay, so the regular deposit to the sinking fund, you get 96902 plus 10,000, so 16,902. So if you can see, if you compare between the normal loan and the sinking fund loan, with the sinking fund, you need to pay more every payment. So it makes sense, right? Because you only pay off interest every year, so the remaining principal will accumulate at a lower rate G. That's why you need to pay more. Okay, what is outstanding balance at time 5? Outstanding balance at time 5 is going to be loan minus the accumulated amount in the sinking fund. So the accumulated amount in the sinking fund is going to be your deposit, the regular deposit to the sinking fund, but you accumulate it over 5 years. So you calculate this, you get your outstanding balance at time 5. So what is the principal paid at time 6? Principal paid at time 6 is equals to outstanding balance at time 6 outstanding balance at time 5 minus outstanding balance at time 6, right? Okay, so this one you know already, outstanding balance at time 5. You can also find outstanding balance at time 6 using this method, or you can also save yourself from calculating OB outstanding balance at time 6, and this is leveraging on this relationship. So we want to find P6 is equals to regular deposit to the sinking fund, which is 6902, plus the interest earned from the sinking fund. So this is the interest earned from all of the amount that is already accumulated in the sinking fund. All amount accumulated in the sinking fund, you can see it as loan minus outstanding balance at time 5, or you can calculate it yourself. Okay, so in this case, loan minus outstanding balance at time 5 times I, so that is the interest earned from the sinking fund, plus the regular deposit. Or this component, you can also calculate it as follows: 6902 S 5. 6902 S5 to about 8%. So this is the amount accumulated in the sinking fund at time 5. And then you times by 8%, you get the interest earned from the sinking fund at time 6. Okay.